Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking, is it over for niacinamide? Now, for the past 5 years, niacinamide has been the undisputed king of the skincare world. The most searched for skincare ingredient. Some of the best-selling skincare serums were niacinamide-based, and brands were loading their products full of the ingredient. People couldn't get enough of niacinamide, but all that seemed to change around 12 months ago. In the last 12 months, niacinamide has dropped significantly in the Google searched for terms. Brands have started withdrawing the ingredient from their skincare products or reducing the amount that's in there. And some of the best-selling niacinamide serums, such as the one from The Ordinary, have suffered a significant drop in sales. What's going on? We're going to talk about it all in today's video, and more importantly, how to use niacinamide in our skincare routine. Sit back, relax, let's talk. Is it over for niacinamide? Now, before we get into today's video, I would love to know what your own hot take is when it comes to niacinamide. These are just my thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and I really would love to know yours. If you're someone that would never be without a touch of niacinamide in your skincare routine, let me know by leaving the heart emoji in the comments section below. If you're someone that avoids niacinamide completely, let me know by using the thumbs down emoji, again, in the comment section. I can then collate all of it together and we can do a little bit of a snap poll to work out what the viewers of Mad About Skin think when it comes to this ingredient. Whatever your thoughts on niacinamide, if you enjoyed this style of content where we kind of lift the lid on industry trends, talk about some of the happenings in the skincare community, what's going on, and do a bit of a deep dive into ingredients, this is your cup of tea, let me know by leaving the video a big thumbs up and a like. When you click that thumbs up button, honestly, it supports me as a content creator so much, because the more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. Now, we've got a lot to cover, so let's cut that waffle delve straight on in. So let's start with what is niacinamide, a brief introduction. Well, I think most people have probably heard of it. Like I say, it was the most popular skincare ingredient for years. And honestly, it's got a range of great benefits. Niacinamide is a B vitamin, and when applied topically to the skin, it can calm and soothe. It can, at the margins, help regulate oil production in the skin. Great if, like me, you are an oil slick morning through till evening. It can help fade hyperpigmentation and even out our skin tone. And a lot of people started to report they get some great anti-acne benefits from niacinamide too. It's got a plethora of different benefits, and I think that's why it became so popular. Just about anyone could slot niacinamide into their skincare routine and see at least one of those benefits on their own skin. So what's happening in terms of niacinamide sales? Well, I think the thing that really started to highlight just how niacinamide is slipping in popularity was the slowdown in sales of The Ordinary Niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1% serum. This has been the best selling of The Ordinary skincare collection for the past 4 years, and apparently was ahead of the second place in the bestseller list by a whole wide margin. This year though, it slipped to 6th. In just 12 months, it's lost its gold medal position and really slipped down that bestsellers list. This started to, resonate with the beauty bloggers and the editors that started to call out the consumer shift away from niacinamide serums and to some other skincare products. It's not just The Ordinary, though, that is seeing the effects of this. If you look at the search terms for niacinamide, they've dropped really significantly in the last 12 months. At the same time period, though, other ingredients that have very similar impacts on the skin, such as kojic acid for fading hyperpigmentation, for alpha-arbutin for minimizing dark spots and discoloration, they've seen a spike in their search volumes. So I think people are just generally looking for alternatives to niacinamide in a way that maybe they weren't 3 or 4 years ago. I think if we look at some of the issues with niacinamide, it's not hard to see why it's decreasing in popularity. Let's first look at concentrations. So if you read any of the scientific studies into niacinamide, they show that it can deliver fantastic benefits for calming and soothing the skin, regulating oil production and fading hyperpigmentation with a 2 to 5% concentration. All the studies done on this ingredient have been in that range, and yet brands weren't content with that. They wanted to push it higher and higher. When niacinamide first became an ingredient that was accessible over the counter, people were using it in that 2 to 5% range. Then The Ordinary came along and said, we could do better. Let's slap a 10% concentration in there, because in minds, the minds of the consumer, higher concentrations mean better results. We know that's not the case, but that's often how it's portrayed. So of course, other brands didn't want to miss out. So on the back of The Ordinary launching their 10% option, we then saw Naturium go in with a 12% option to again capitalise on people wanting maximum strengths. This all capped out at Paula's Choice, who now offer a 20% strength niacinamide, where there's no data to point out how effective that can be, and often delivers a whole lot more irritation. What people were finding is using a 2 to 5% strength of niacinamide worked really well for them, but pushing that concentration higher, they didn't necessarily get more results in terms of helping to achieve their skin goals, but they got a whole lot more sensitivity and irritation. In higher concentrations, niacinamide can be really irritating, it can cause redness and sensitivity, it can actually impair the barrier function of the skin. And so what a lot of people were finding is they were reaching for niacinamide, which people were holding out to be the gold standard, reaching for too high a strength and then saying, yeah, my skin just can't tolerate niacinamide. And they were blaming the ingredient rather than the brands, which were chasing those percentages and not really putting the consumer and the scientific data first. Now, all of that's kind of changed recently. You started to see brands remove niacinamide from their skincare products and from their collections as a whole. One of the biggest things is La Roche-Posay. So they used to have a 10% niacinamide serum. It wasn't particularly well formulated, wasn't a particularly great serum, but it sold reasonably well on the back of the popularity of niacinamide. Of course, that popularity has started to fade, so they've now come out with their Mela B3 serum, which disguises the fact it's a niacinamide serum. It's a direct replacement for the old niacinamide, but it also has this other, unique to the L'Oreal group compound in it, designed to further enhance the results. No longer can they just lazily rely on niacinamide to sell the serum, they had to mix it up and change it about. They've actually reduced the amount of niacinamide in the product, which I think is great, and again use this Melasil compound to boost the results that you're going to see. This is a great example of a brand really tuning in to consumer demands and trends and saying, yeah, niacinamide isn't selling anymore, we need to do something different. So I expect to see a lot of brands slowly ditch the niacinamide in their products and move away from it as their hero ingredient. This is honestly a good thing for us, the consumers, because what was happening is just about every skincare product we owned had niacinamide in it. You'd find it in cleansers, serums, moisturizers, sunscreens, and so we might be using 4 or 5 different products with niacinamide in our skincare routine. We were getting niacinamide on niacinamide on niacinamide, and that was compounding the issue, the irritation and the sensitivity. So if brands start to remove niacinamide knowing it's not as popular as it once was, I think that'll give us the consumer a better choice when it comes to how much niacinamide we actually want in our skincare routines. So at this point in the video you're probably thinking, ooh, niacinamide not popular, I should probably move away from it, do away with it and look for some other options. I'm here to say you absolutely do not need to do that. Niacinamide isn't really the problem, it's the way it was marketed and it's the way that brands chase those percentages that really has ultimately caught up on them and why a lot of people are moving away. If your skin can tolerate niacinamide and you're getting great results from it, keep using it. My motto in skincare is use what works for you, but just be mindful that there are often some better options on the market that you might want to explore. For anyone that's worried about the sensitivity that can come with niacinamide or has had a reaction to their niacinamide serum, I would say maybe look for something with a lower concentration, a lower strength, because that way you can get the results with a lot less side effects and irritation. I think some of the biggest drop-offs in terms of sales will come from those single niacinamide focused serums like the one from The Ordinary. People are saying, I'm probably getting my niacinamide fix in my sunscreen or in my moisturizer. I don't really need that extra niacinamide step. Cut it out, save some time and save some money. And I've got a couple of options I want to share with you in this section of the video. If you are still in the market for niacinamide and want to try it, but in a better strength that really I think can give you those benefits without the irritation, there's a few that I want to recommend. So first up, let's talk about the Naturium Niacinamide Gel Moisturizer. This is a 5%. Now, I read them earlier in the video for having a 12% serum. We don't like that. Garbage, you don't need that strength. This is a 5% gel moisturizer. Great for summer. Perfect if you have very oily or acne prone skin. It'll calm, soothe, give a lightweight hydration and give you that 5% dose of niacinamide. You don't need to add another step into your routine because this just replaces your existing moisturizer. And I think it's a really nice, well-formulated, niacinamide-infused moisturizer that can work for just about anyone. If you're someone that has, a very dryness-prone skin, you might want to look for something more heavy-duty. But for us oily folk, this could be a summer essential. I also want to call out this product. This is the Numbuzzin Panthenic, I hope I pronounced that right, B5 Active Soothing Serum. This contains a 4% concentration of niacinamide. Perfect. This is a brand listening to the science that says 2 to 5% is where it's at. 4%. So I really think we should applaud brands that listen to the science, focus on what you actually need in terms of that strength, rather than just chasing the strength to get the sales and the tills running. This is a great example, and alongside here you've also got another blend of calming and soothing ingredients. So if you're someone that likes a touch of niacinamide in a calming and soothing serum, I think this is the best on the market. I'll link this in the description box below if you did want to check it out. But 4% niacinamide, this is a brand listening to the science, which I love to see. I don't think you have to cut out niacinamide altogether, and to kind of prove that, I'm not anti-niacinamide, whilst I don't load my own skincare routine with it, I'm not anti it. I actually used it in my own sunscreen. So this is the Mad About Skin Protect and Hydrate sunscreen. I formulated this with a 2% concentration of niacinamide, because used alongside sun protection, niacinamide is great at reducing inflammation, providing some antioxidant protection, and can actually prevent the formation of dark spots and discoloration caused by sun exposure. So I actually think there's a space for niacinamide in sunscreen specifically, but in the right concentration, 2%. 2% concentration of niacinamide, again, listening to the science, making sure it's going to be applicable to everyone. This is an option where you could get a low dose of niacinamide alongside your sun protection, so no need for an extra step, and it'll work far better than those 20%, which is just going to trigger irritation. This at the moment is ridiculously low on stock. We're coming in rebranding literally just around the corner, and I think there's about 20 units left. It is still on buy one get one free to just clear the decks for those rebranding. So if you did want to check it out, then again, it's linked below. Put 2 in your basket. When you check out, one of them will automatically show as free, and that's how you get the buy one get one free. But yeah, I wanted to show that I'm not anti-niacinamide. I just think as consumers, we need to know what percentage we're using, and we need to make sure that we're treating our skin with a little kindness and not overloading it. So there you have it, guys, the lowdown on niacinamide. What do you guys think? Is it the fault of the brands for just overloading their products with niacinamide and taking us for fools as consumers? Or is it the fault of us, the consumer, that's always chasing that new ingredient? Why do you think niacinamide has become significantly less popular than it used to be? Let me know in the comments section below. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.